So today we're going to be working on a 2004 Nissan Titan. We're going to be taking out the headlights and putting a fresh set of eyes on this vehicle. Because a lot of times these headlights, they get fogged up. You can see here that these are all fogged. Okay, so we're going to put on a set of Spyder. These are aftermarket headlamps here. You can see the new headlamp going in right here. Now, I just want to let you know from the beginning that I did a once-over on this vehicle, and some of the bolts and stuff are missing, as if somebody had this grill out before. And there's also some zip ties holding some parts of the grill on. So there are some things that aren't factory on here, but I'm going to try to explain it to you the best I can on what's supposed to be there. So first thing you want to do is pop the hood, which we had already pulled the lever inside. Pop our hood up. And this grill here is one of the things I was telling you about, which doesn't appear to be factory. But here you have 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Now, on other models, you would use a flathead here to be some type of pin clip that you would actually turn, and then you'd be able to pull these off. All right, here you can see a lot of these are broken already. And I don't know if it's just this model or not, but I haven't seen these bolts in here before. But we're going to need to remove these 4 bolts. This one looks like it's cracked as well in there. I'm a little worried about putting this back together because everything's already cracked. But when the hood is closed, it does hold the grill in place. And this one's cracked also. Now, underneath here, I don't know if you'll be able to see this. Let me see if I can get my light on here. You're going to see, if you look straight back in there, it looks like that bolt is missing. And then you're going to go to the center. This one, they have a zip tie on. But you are going to have to remove the bolts that are in there. And there's the third one missing a bolt. Okay, so there's 3 on the bottom. It's either going to be a flathead that you turn, a clip, or it's going to be a bolt. On this particular vehicle, it's zip ties. All right, but that's what you're going to need to do to take the grill off. So let's do that first. Let's get those. There's 4 bolts out of there, and we'll cut that zip tie in the middle. And we're going to go ahead and, actually, I think there's 2 clips on the side, too, that I'm going to show you when we get to that, how to take that off. Now that we have those 4 removed, and I did go ahead and cut the zip tie on the bottom, but at this point, you should have the bottom either 3 bolts or 3 clips removed. You want to come up here, and now here's where your headlight meets your grill. And if you follow your finger back, let me put some light on here. Follow your finger back, you're going to see a clip right there. You want to take a set of needle nose and get them in there if you can. And you're going to actually squeeze the back of that clip. And I'm going to need my other hand to pull on that grill right there. Squeezing that clip, and there we go. That side popped out. Let's go over to the other side, same thing, right where the headlight meets. You go down and, oh boy, they don't have the clip there. They have a zip tie. All right, let me grab these. We're gonna need to cut that zip tie. A lot of zip ties in here holding this thing on. Now you should be able to just pull your grill off just like that. So now what we're gonna do is you wanna make sure that your wheel is turned in for this next part. Okay, you're gonna come over here, and you're gonna have this this wheel well flap here. Okay, now right here, okay, you're gonna see where it indents right here, and it looks like this is busted off as well. Just flapping there. Well, that makes it easy for me to show you then. There is a screw. Here we go. There's the screw right there. It's a Phillips head, so you're gonna need to get a probably a short, stubby Phillips head, and put it in there, and take that screw out, and that will allow you to pull this down. Man, whoever worked on this before really has got everything rigged up. Underneath of that screw, you're gonna see another bolt here, which you can only access from the back, and that on this vehicle, hoping it is accurate, is an 8mm. Okay, so you're gonna need to get your ratchet drive up and around the back of this here. Okay, now if you look to the left of this, let's see if I can get the phone in here. Okay, right up there is another one which is a 10 millimeter. So that's pretty accessible to get to. You're going to be very limited in your turns here with your ratchet. Once you have all that done under the wheel well there, you can come back up top. You're going to have, now here's your fender here. Come all the way to the end of the fender and right in. You're going to have an 8 millimeter bolt there. And then follow your headlight around and down, and right in the center of it over, you're going to have another 8 millimeter. These I had already loosened up, so we're just going to back them out. Now, this should, with a little bit of a tug, like that, that should pull your assembly free. So now's the time to come over here, and you're going to have this headlight harness plugged in here, which I think I'm going to need to get 2 hands here. Push down on that tab in the front with a screwdriver if you can, and just kind of pry, and it'll start, you'll see it start to come out. Just pushing down, pry and open. You should be able to get that now, just like that, okay? And now, you'll be able to remove the headlamp. All right, so you want to lay your headlights down side by side, and you can see here's our harness clipped on there. We're going to unclip that, come around, we're going to take this light out, and pretty much all the lights, these are going to all come out. And this is where we will plug them into the corresponding spots here in our new light. All right, and as mentioned in the beginning of the video, these halos and stuff, they have to be wired up to your parking lamps and such. So we're going to cover that in a separate video. We're not going to cover that today. We're just going to cover transferring all of the lights, get these lights working, put the light back on, and another day I will be doing a tutorial on just how to wire these up. But I'm on limited time today, so we're just going to get the headlights in and get them working, and then we'll do another video in a couple of days on wiring these halos up. So your harness over here is in this little track. Okay, this piece itself does not come off, because as you can see on your other one, it's there. And see that little track? So basically what you're gonna do is this is gonna slide forward off, just like that. Okay, and you wanna feed that through the hole here to get your harness out of there. Now, moving on to this bulb here. If you look on your new one, on the Spyder, it actually already has a bulb inside of it. Okay, you can see that already has a bulb. So we're not going to take this bulb out. It has an adapter here, which basically, if you pull this one off, this harness is going to plug right into this adapter. All right, so we're not removing this one. We're going to move on to the next one here, which basically you're going to turn and pull straight up. That one's out. Move to our top one here. Turn, pull straight up, and then we have this one here. This one's a little tough because it's, there we go. I'm gonna turn and pull straight up. All right, now we can go ahead and we can transfer this over to here. Okay, so remember this piece, that's going to feed under here, and then you're going to slide that right back in the track there where we took it off of the other one. And then we're going next in the harness here. It's this one. Remember the bulb we didn't take out? So we're going to take the adapter here, and that's going to be the top, and you're going to push that in and push down on this clip here, which actually is going to hold that in. See now from coming out. And now we're going to move on to the next one. Push this in so it fits in all those little grooves right there, and then turn it down to lock it in. And then our next one, same thing. You can see it just popped in, and turn it to lock it in. And then we do our little one, same thing. Turn it till you feel it drop down, and then turn it to lock it. And all of our lights are back in, minus our halos. Now you have this bottom trim on your old light. So the way this actually comes off is, try to show you, and this one's busted here, but you want to grab that trim and you want to pull it to the left, because it's actually going to, if you look, it slides down and then it pops out. So let's see if we can do this here. One hand. So we slide down like that. So you want to pull it towards you and then pull up. Just like that. And now you're going to take these pins off of here because we got to put them in our new light. And the way you want to remove these pins is on the side. See this little clip here? So kind of push in and pull straight out, just like that. And that's how those come out. All right, push in, pull straight out. So on this light, just push it in there, and then there you go. Pop it right in there. I mean, you probably should get new ones of these from the factory, because once you start pulling these apart, they're really brittle and they do break, and they never go back in tight ever again. So push it in just like that till you hear it click. All right, but now they're in there and we can slide our trim back on. So just kind of line up the big opening there, obviously the square opening, and kind of slide it over top of that. And same thing with this one. Man, everything's broke on this car. It's so brittle. Same thing with that one, slide it in. And now you should be able to push down on it. I'm afraid to push on this because it's already broken. But you can see it's got to slide down into that track. It's got to push over like that. I don't want to push too much on this and break it more than it is. There we go. See how that slid down and in? And that's what you want to do. Just make sure that they lock in place there. All right, and that's the trim back on. Okay, so that light is complete. It's wired up. Now we're going to go ahead and going to set it up there. All right, and this is where you will reconnect the wire that you unplugged before we took these out into there, and that should give you the power to illuminate everything minus the halos, because we didn't cover that in this tutorial. We will in another one. So we can actually go ahead and we can plug that in now. All right, make sure you hear it click. Make sure it's seated nice and firm. There's no gaps there. Okay, so now technically you can go ahead and test your lights, because your wiring is in there before you go ahead and bolt that up in case you have to pull it out and do anything. All right, I turn the lights on. As you can see, the lights are on. There's our high beam. That's working as well. And there's our blinker. The blinker's working as well. That tells me the wiring part of it is satisfactory, and we can go ahead and we can bolt that one back up. So at this point, guys, you're basically just going to retrace your steps and go back and mount everything the same way that you took it off. Okay, be careful on these trucks. Things are very, very brittle. As you saw, there was a lot of zip ties on here from somebody working on it in the past, and you will break pieces, and you don't want your headlight falling off going down the road. All right, I am going to go ahead and start working on the other light, which I already have out, but that is the same setup as this side. I'm not sure about bolt sizes, but I do know everything I came across was a 10 millimeter, 8 millimeter.